Hi, and welcome to Dave's World Currency. Today we're going to look at some banknotes that my husband Dave picked up recently at a flea market. First, we have this 1942 5-franc note from Algeria. It bears the date of November 16, 1942, the day Algeria was liberated by the Allies from Vichy France, the German puppet government in control. The reverse features a portrait of an allegorical woman. Algeria was a French colony from 1830 to 1962. Dave already had this note, but this one is in better condition. 1954 Canada. Two versions of the same $1 note from two different printers. The better-looking one is from the Canadian Banknote Company. The other is from the British American Banknote Company. There are several different signature varieties of each note. On the right is a portrait of Elizabeth II, then the new Queen of England and the Commonwealth. The reverse pictures the legendary Trans-Canada Road crossing the prairie near Fleming, Saskatchewan. He already had the Canadian Banknote Company version of this, but not the British American version. Too bad it's in such rough shape, but it'll be a placeholder until a better one comes along. He also got two 1986 Canadian $2 notes. Once again, there are several different signature varieties of this note, but these two are the same. In the center at the top is the coat of arms of Canada. On the right is a portrait of Elizabeth II. To the right of the portrait is a view of the Parliament building in Ottawa. The reverse shows a pair of robins in a field of grass. He already has this note in much better condition than either of these two, so these will go in the sell pile. 1979 Canada $5 bill. On the left is the coat of arms of Canada, and on the right is a portrait of Sir Henry Charles Wilfrid Laurier, first French-speaking Prime Minister of Canada. He was the 7th Prime Minister and served from 1896 to 1911. On the reverse is a scene of salmon fishing boats in Johnstone Strait off Vancouver Island, British Columbia. There are two signature varieties of this note, and this is the scarcer one. This is a new note for Dave's collection. Here's a 1986 Canada $5 bill. At the top is the coat of arms of Canada. On the right is again a portrait of Sir Henry. To the right of the portrait is a view of the Parliament building in Ottawa. The reverse on this one features a belted kingfisher perched on a branch in a marsh. Once again, there are many signature varieties of this note. Another new note for the collection. 1968 1 peso from Colombia, new to the collection. Portrait of Simón Bolívar at left, portrait of General Francisco de Paula Santander at right. Bolívar was a Venezuelan military and political leader who led what are currently the countries of Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, Peru, Panama, and Bolivia to independence from the Spanish Empire. He is known colloquially as El Libertador, or the Liberator of America. He lived from 1783 to 1830. Santander was a Colombian military and political leader during the 1810 to 1819 Independence War of the United Provinces of New Granada, which is present-day Colombia. He was the acting president of Gran Colombia between 1819 and 1826, and later elected by Congress as the president of the Republic of New Granada between 1832 and 1837. Santander came to be known as the Man of the Laws. The reverse depicts Liberty's head above a condor with waterfall and mountain in the background. There are many date varieties of this note. This one is dated February 1st. 1916 Denmark 1 krone, a simple design. Here's the reverse. This is another new one for Dave's collection, but in terrible condition. 1950 Denmark 5 krone. Fairly simple design on the obverse. There is a mind-boggling number of varieties of this note, different signatures and different serial number prefixes. This particular combination of signatures and prefixes isn't listed on Numista, but that might not mean anything. Dave has requested this variety be added to the website. Another new addition to the collection. The reverse features the Danish coat of arms. 1944 Germany Allied Occupation 1 mark. Issued by the Allies for occupied areas of Germany. This is an American printing by Forbes Lithograph Company of Boston, issued for use in the British occupation zone. The occupation zone for each note can be determined by the first digit of the serial number and the printer by a tiny letter F, or lack thereof, in the lower right obverse design. There are Russian printed notes which are missing the letter F, but unfortunately he doesn't have any yet. Here's the reverse side. A 1938 Japan 50-cent note. In Japan, this note is referred to as Fuji Sakura. Sakura means cherry blossom in Japanese. The obverse design features a view of Mount Fuji with cherry blossoms in the foreground. The reverse has a simple design featuring the denomination. A fairly common note, which he already has in much better condition. A 50 centavos note from the Mexican state of Sonora, issued in 1915, new to the collection. This obverse features portraits of Francisco Ignacio Madero and Jose Maria Pino Suarez. Madero became the 37th president of Mexico from 1911 until he was deposed in a coup d'etat in February 1913 and assassinated. Suarez was a leader of the Mexican Revolution and served as the seventh and last vice president of Mexico from 1911 until 1913, when he was also assassinated. This note was issued during the Revolution in Mexico, a confusing time which I don't know much about. Many Mexican states issued their own banknotes during this time. Dave has a couple from Chihuahua. The reverse depicts the Sonoran coat of arms. 1915 Mexican state of Sonora. This is the 5 pesos note. And the backside. $5 note from the French Protectorate of Tunisia. France controlled Tunisia from 1881 until it gained independence in 1956. This note was issued in 1944. As you can see, they used notes from the Bank of Algeria, which was also under French control, and just overprinted them with the name of the country down the right-hand side. The reverse depicts a veiled Algerian woman carrying a basket of fruit, and in the background, a view of the port of Algiers showing the Admiralty buildings. A nice, colorful note. This is a $1 U.S. silver certificate. This is from the 1935 Series C, but the signatures on it dated to the 1940s. William Alexander Julian, whose signature is on the left, served as Treasurer of the United States from 1933 until his death in 1949. He was the last man to serve in that position. The treasurers since then have all been women. The Secretary of the Treasury, whose signature is on the right-hand side of the note, was John Wesley Snyder, who served from June of 1946 to January of 1953. So that dates this silver certificate from between 1946 and 1949. And here's the reverse. This note was issued before they added the words, "In God We Trust." Another $1 silver certificate, also from the 1935 design, but this is Series E. It's signed by Treasurer Ivy Baker Priest on the left and Treasury Secretary George McGoffin Humphrey on the right. Their terms overlapped from 1953 to 57. This series has the narrower reverse design, in other words, more white space around the margins. Well, that's it for this video. Which one of these notes was your favorite? Leave us a comment and let us know.